The night is only a sort of carbon paper, blue-black with much poked periods of stars. Letting in the light, people after people, a bone-white light, like death, behind all things. Under the eyes of the stars and the moon's rictus, he suffers his desert pillow of sleeplessness, stretching its fine irritating sand in all directions. Over and over, the granular movie exposes embarrassments, the mizzling days of childhood and adolescence, sticky with dreams. Parental faces unstalked, alternately stern and tearful, a garden of buggy rose that made him cry. His forehead is bumpy as a sack of rocks. Memories jostle each other from face to room like obsolete film stars. He's immune to pills, red, purple, blue, how they live the tedium of the protracted evening. Those sugary planets whose influence won for him, a life baptized in no life for a while, and the sweet drugged waking of a forgetful baby. Now the pills are worn out and silly like classical gods. Their poppy sleepy colors do him no good. His head is a little interior of gray mirrors. Each gesture flees immediately down an alley of diminishing perspectives, and its significance drains like water out of the hole at the far end. He lives without privacy in the lidless room, the bald slots of his eyes stiffened wide open on the incessant heat lightning flickering of situations. Night long in the granite yard, invisible cats have been howling like women or damaged instruments. Already he can feel daylight, his white disease, creeping up with her hat full of trivial repetitions. The city is a map of cheerful twitters now, and everywhere people eyes Micah, Silver, and Blank are riding to work in rows as if recently brainwashed. Sylvia Plath had a very difficult life, full of self-doubt and sleepless nights. I believe that Sylvia wrote this poem to show how much she was suffering. Throughout her life, Sylvia pretended to be happy on the outside, but on the inside she was depressed and never satisfied with her work. She describes her dreams as old granular movies, exposing embarrassments. Plath suffered from insomnia, and I believe she wrote this poem to show people how much she really went through.
Sylvia Plath was born on October 27, 1932. Sylvia was an excellent student throughout school and was accepted into Smith College on a scholarship. She won many prizes and received many awards for her writing. Logically, she should have been happy, but Plath was just putting on a show. Inside, she was full of doubt, depression, and fear. Soon, Plath was no longer able to stand it, and she attempted suicide. For the next few months of her life, Sylvia was institutionalized at McLean Hospital and was treated with painful shock treatments. Seeming to recover quickly, doctors released Plath, and soon after she attempted college again. She attended Newman College at Cambridge University on a Fulbright scholarship. There is where she met her husband, Ted Hughes. When they were happy together for a long time, and when Sylvia got offered a teaching job at Smith College, she returned to America and took Ted with her. Soon, though, her job became taxing. She was again filled with self-doubt. She began to get sick frequently. When her first year of teaching was over, Plath did not return. She thought she had failed and did not want to go back for another year. Soon, Plath and Hughes moved to England. On the outside, she showed great enthusiasm for all good things in her life, but on the inside, she had to dig deep to find the will to continue on. Sylvia had a miscarriage. She soon began to suffer from depression, which worsened when she discovered her husband's affair. In 1962, Sylvia took her children to move to England. Soon afterwards, Sylvia Plath succeeded in taking her own life. She died in 1963.
In this poem, there are several similes and metaphors. One example of a simile is his head is as bumpy as a sack of rocks. This is comparing his forehead to a sack of rocks. An example of a metaphor is the night is only a sort of carbon paper. This is comparing the night to carbon paper. This poem created a vivid picture in my head of a restless night after trying everything possible to get to sleep. Some examples of imagery were used when they described the pills and the sky really late at night. The tone the author is trying to convey in this poem is pain and suffering at the hand of insomnia. She wants us to understand what it feels like not getting enough sleep very often. The mood of this poem is sorrowful as Plath describes the suffering of insomniacs of the world.
I am going to be telling you about my group's personal reactions. Sarah's reaction is this poem leaves her feeling tired because this poem is about not being able to sleep. I am sometimes insomniac as well. Holly. This poem makes her feel bad for all the people who have insomnia. This poem does a good job of describing how people with insomnia act like zombies. JC. This poem opens her eyes to being thankful for sleep she gets. She really likes this poem. Brandon. His opinion is, it is a bad poem. Not that good at all. I don't like zombies.